This is Cindy Dell. I am providing a video for you on the increases for the novice sweater in the My First Sweater class. So what I'm going to do is show you how to make those increases. Here's my beautiful yoke. I've already turned down the collar, but as I mentioned in class, there are several ways that you can make the collar. And if you look at your pattern, right now I am on the third increase round. Okay, there are 4 increase rounds and we're on the third. On the first and the second increases, the increases that we are going to make are exactly the same. It's just that the count is a little bit different. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start. Now, as you can see, make sure you can see it, and go a little bit closer. This is my end of round marker. And when you're working in the round, we don't call them rows. Rows are for when you're working back and forth. Rounds are around and around. And it actually goes in a spiral, okay? It goes in a spiral. So this is the end of round marker. Okay, I'm going to just make one stitch so that my end of round marker doesn't fall off. And I want to show you how to make your increases. The first increase that I'm going to show you is called just plain old make one. And as you can see, sorry, get all my tools here. There is actually a bar right here in between the 2 stitches. Here's your first stitch that you've already made, and here's your second stitch. In between those 2 is a bar. So to do a make one, you slip your left hand needle underneath that bar till it's on the left hand needle, and you're going to knit it through the back row. I'm sorry, the back loop, just like that. I'm going to show you that again. Here's your bar. You're going to lift that bar in between your 2 needles, and with your right hand needle, you're going to go in through the back, wrap your yarn around, and knit it. I'm going to show you how to do that with your yarn in your left hand. I'm a thrower. I can also pick, but I prefer to throw. Okay, here's your bar. That's where you're going to pick up. So with your left hand needle, go in through the front, knit through the back loop, and pull it off. Okay. The other increase that I want to show you is the one that I would really like to see you use. And it is called a lifted increase. So this takes a little bit of recognizing your stitches. So you've got 1, 2, 3 stitches here. You can tell they are stitches because at the base there's a V. And on the V are what we call legs. This is the right leg of the V, and this is the left leg of the V. It's kind of like a little man. You've got the right leg and the left leg, and here's your torso. He has no head, but he's got 2 legs. Right leg, left leg. What we're going to do is work through the right leg right here. So in order to make your increase, you're going to shove or push your right hand needle through that stitch, through that right leg. It goes right in through like that. I'll show you again. Here's the right leg. Here's the left leg. Just from your right to the left, insert your needle. Then you're going to lift it onto the left hand needle. Now you want to make sure that the leg stays the same and going in the same direction. It's going to go from left to right. As you start from the top and go to the bottom, it leans to the left. Then all you do is knit it like you would any other stitch, just like that. And then you knit your other stitches as you go along. Okay, all right, I'm going to show you that again. I'm going to take these stitches off. And there goes that leg again right there. You can see it. Okay. You're going to take your right hand needle, push it through from back to front into the leg of that stitch below, right here. I'm going to lift it up slightly. Don't stretch it too much. Just lift it slightly and put it on top of the left hand needle. And then knit. Okay. I'm going to show you what that looks like with my hand, my working yarn in the left hand. It doesn't matter if you're right or left-handed. The knitting is still the same. So if you're left-handed and you're worried about about knitting, it's the same with either hand. There is no such thing as right hand knitting and left hand knitting. Okay, we can see the leg here. Here's the right leg, here's the left leg. We're going to push our right hand needle through this stitch from the back. Lift it up, put it onto the left hand needle, and knit through it. Now you can see this is the stitch that was originally there, that you would have worked first had it not been for the increase stitch. When you come to that one, you just knit it the same. Okay, so I'm going to take this out again, and we're going to start the pattern. Now on the first two increase rounds, they say to they say to knit two, make one, knit two, make one, all the way around. On this third one, it's knit three, make one. So we're going to do that. Okay. So the instructions say, work a round of increases on the next round, the third of 4 increase rounds in total, as follows. There's a little asterisk. It says knit 3 stitches, then work an increase and another asterisk. And the row below that says repeat from asterisk to the end of the round. And then you will have a total of 100 and whatever stitches, depending on your size, 200 for some. All that means is we're going to knit 3 stitches and work an increase all the way around. So you just keep repeating in between those 2 asterisks. Okay, so let's do that. Here's our end of round marker. We're going to knit 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do this. And then we're going to make one. So again, here's our leg, the right leg. Don't twist the stitch when you put it. Don't come in through the back or you twist the stitch. just come in and just lift it right on top. And you can see how that leg is slanting to the left. That's the way you want your stitches mounted. And then you knit. Here's the original stitch right here. We're going to knit that as 1, 2, 3. Let's do it again. Right needle through the leg, lift it up onto the left needle, and knit it. Then knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm going to show you now what it looks like if you're using your left hand with a working yarn. The next stitch is an increase. Remember, we still go in from back to front into the leg, the right leg of that stitch below, right there. So in it goes. Carefully lift it onto the left hand needle and knit it. And then we're going to knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's try it again. From back to front. Lift that stitch, that leg onto the left hand needle and knit. And then 1, 2, 3. Now some tips. When you're knitting, anytime you're knitting, you want to make sure to keep your needles close together. Don't have them far apart because you're stretching here. These are getting stretched too far. If I pull it away, especially if I pull it really far, you can see how it changes the size of the stitch. So you want to keep your needles close together as much as you can. The other thing that you'll see me do is use the tips as much as possible, especially over this way. See, I'm not shoving my whole needle in. I'm keeping my tips as close as you can. Sometimes beginners have a hard time with that. Just do the best you can. I'm going to knit 1. Is that right? No, I need to make an increase. So I'm going to make an increase, knit, and then 3. 1, 2, 3. Make another lifted increase. Right hand needle goes through the right hand leg and lifts it up onto the left hand needle and knit. See how I keep the tips of my needles working? The important thing is that when you knit it, it actually does go down onto the barrel of the knitting needle, and that's what gives you the correct gauge. If you didn't do that, your stitches would be too small if you just kept them here. But they kind of automatically go down there, so you don't have to worry too much about it. The most important thing is that you're keeping your needles together and not like this. That gives you a much nicer fabric. So you can tell we've made one stitch. Now we knit 1, 2, 3. One more time. Find the leg. This is easier to do with a light colored yarn than black, especially if you've got dark needles. Find that leg, push your right hand needle through, gently lift it onto the left hand needle, and knit. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I hope that helps.